Hi, it's Lauren Sacco.
And Jason Augustowski. And for our Google Advanced tool, we used Google SketchUp. And we're teaching this to 6th graders who have been already assigned into groups for differentiated novel units. So they're working with a partner. All the groups are reading different novels based on their ability levels and their reading levels and that kind of thing. And so at this point, the students have already read halfway through whatever novel they're currently reading. So to start off this lesson, the first thing we're going to do is have them get into the groups that they're reading their novels in, and we're going to give them a sheet of computer paper with a prompt across the type that says, together with your partner, from your own memories, draw the setting in which your novel takes place, as well as a few important objects that perhaps the main characters use describe that are discussed in the text. So obviously, from memory, when they do this sketch with like the color, colored pencils and the crayons and markers that we give them, it's not going to really be that detailed. But regardless, we're going to let them share their drawings with the class and have different group members discuss different little elements of setting that they showed in their picture. But like I said, it's not going to be that detailed. So then the next thing we're going to do is introduce to them Google SketchUp and talk about how important setting is in novels and how important like symbolic objects and motifs can be towards the characters and to the plot. So using Google SketchUp, we're going to show them how to use the tools briefly and then show them how these tools and templates can be used to render a really great digital image of their setting, and how they can use the different little tools to create exactly the exact same location that their characters interact within, and create the little objects, like the little central objects and images that their characters use. So here's an example of one that we made of like a little Iroquois village.
Okay, so in this SketchUp you can see the houses and trees, and students can make that by clicking on this line tool with the pencil, or the box as a rectangle if you want to make a whole wall at one time, or circle and arc. And then there's other tools such as the eraser, where you can just click on one line and erase something, or tape measure, so if you want to measure something out. And this paint bucket makes all these different colors or textures that you can choose from, like fencing, water, all that. So students will be able to use all of those components to make an exact setting with their novel. And here they have the orbit tool, so they can look all the way around. As you can see, we made it like from the front and the bottom and the top. So that gives them an opportunity to make a more detailed setting by looking at within their text, and they're going to need to pick out specific sentences that help
that the author uses to describe the setting that they're in. They're going to, based on what the author says, they're going to create this really nice rendering of their setting and the objects that the character uses and stuff. But then to conclude, they're going to upload this finished Google SketchUp to the class wiki that we already have set up, and they're also going to turn in their original drawing that they did during the opening of the lesson. And then we're going to evaluate them by comparing the two, because the second one should obviously be a lot more detailed than the first, because they're using the Google SketchUp tool with all of its great tools and templates and features, and they've also been able to use the book to see exactly what the author's words were in describing the setting and the different objects and everything. And then the last thing that we're going to ask is to have them synthesize the text. What would happen if the setting was completely changed? How would that affect the characters? And what happens if the symbolic objects were changed or replaced with something else, or if they didn't even exist at all? How would that affect the characters and the plot structure?
Yep, and Google SketchUp should help students explain that pretty easily. Thanks.